That has been, as we've said a couple of times this week, a major area of improvement for Munar this season. He was a relatively conservative server. I think it's not being unfair.
He always had the pop, though, but he didn't always use it. I look at Munar's match yesterday, as well as he played. So often when you, especially when you lose a match, that can follow on to the next match, and the forehand just got away from him right at the business end yesterday against Zverev. He definitely needs to hit his forehand better. Say, he needs to hit it better under pressure.
He ended his season with a really good run in Basel, didn't he, to the semi-finals there. Yes, he was the beneficiary of Felix Auger-Aliassime's retirement, but he had a lot of good wins on hard courts that he hadn't always had this season. So an ideal start for the man who actually lives in Andorra these days. He's relocated there. Quick chat with Alex Corretja early on. He was giving me the details.
Yeah, just to put into context how much he's improved. At the start of this year, he'd only ever had 21 wins on the hard courts on the main tour. And this year alone, 21.
And against some very good opposition as well,
yeah,
which should be noted.
Flavio Cobolli representing Italy to serve.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the junior pedigree was there for Munar. He made the final of the 2014 junior Roland Garros. Actually lost to Andrei Rublev in that final. Highly thought of.
Yeah, I think that just weighed on his shoulders a little bit too much, that great junior, and then the early stages of his pro career. Yeah, I think we felt, Mick, all of us as a team, that as well as he played Cobolli, sometimes he gets into this mood of hitting harder and harder and harder. And it's a very dangerous game to play against someone like Munar, who does soak up the pressure very well. So that's why I think tactically this is a complicated match for Cobolli. I think he's got to change the rhythm, change the height.
And Munar has the ability to make it very physical, if needed. It's not going to be a problem for him.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he went for that return. We love 30-second serve, opening returning game. You just put the ball back on the island and stay tough. Maybe that was predetermined.
That's such a quality point because he was forced to make the running for the majority of it.
Perfect blend, patience, but with aggression. And there's no doubt out of the two, he has that ability to be able to fire big forehands. He generates more pace than Munar. That will do him a world of good to come through a point like that.
Thank you.
Extraordinary.
Well, I need to look at the ball. He went down the middle because Cobolli does it a lot. So did he just hang there, almost knowing this? Oh, we haven't seen the replay. We saw the replay at the end of the point. That lob was unbelievable. But it was the first get that kept him in the point. Cobolli does go down the middle a lot with that short ball.
It's given him a chance to make the perfect start, the Spaniard. And he takes it. Munar coming up with the goods.
It's got to be predetermined, this. I mean, I know it's not a Zverev's second serve, but twice in that game, he went after the backhand return. And actually, the other day, Berg struggled a little bit with the second serve of Cobolli. Well, Lee's fired up all right.
You've been having a little look at their previous meeting in Shanghai. Anything jumping out there?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we have the benefit of so many stats, but the steal score was really important. 43%. For the steal for Munar. We know he's one of the best defenders. I think he might even be second, actually, the last year in terms of steals. And Cobolli, a great defender, he was only 16%. Gets highlighted by that point at 30 all.
This guy's not bad at that department either. He's an unbelievable mover, Cobolli.
That's the dangers. You give a great player, a great athlete, the pass on the run. Yeah, just to confirm, he is second. Munar steals last year.
That's amazing.
Only behind Alcaraz.
Second service.
This was the perfect start for Munar, really. Just quieten the crowd down a little bit, try and take them out of it somewhat. So important he's able to consolidate. doesn't like that wide serve on the deuce. He hits it so well.
Notice how close to the net he got for this first volley. Again, I think at times he's been guilty of using his athleticism more in a passive way. Now I think he's getting the balance right of also using it attacking-wise. Or maybe when I say passive, you know what I mean? It's more reactive.
Yeah.
Two totally different disciplines.
Couldn't have started any better. 3 extremely clean games from Jaume Munar. Put him in 3-love lead. Nick Lester alongside Barry Cowan, Palmer's court side. Let's bring Arv into the conversation for the first time. It looks pretty good from up here, Munar. How's it looking from down there, Arv?
Very good. Actually, it's been an electric start from him, hitting his backhand up the line, an absolute treat, serving big. Seen this transformation in his game this year, continue today as well. I mean, just everything looking very good as we wait for some of the spectators to sit down, but you know, the mix we're seeing with the serve and volley, we saw a little bit of that in the last game. Playing very nicely. Just coming out so focused right now. Just had that look about him on the walk-on before the match. There's just been a lot of positive reinforcement from Ferrer on the bench as well. He's turning around to his team on the bench and a lot of kind of nods of approval and also a look of surprise a couple of times. The shots he's been making, the quality of shots.
And he's got to rattle Cobolli. In fact, the Munar has come out aggressively as this and as good as this.
I know it's just one game, but that first game, that first service game, you felt was absolutely huge for Cobolli to get himself into the set, into the match. Just got to be careful that he doesn't go flat here.
To try and reassert himself out here.
And that's where you've got to use your experiences that he's had this year.
Didn't start the year well, did he? Had that long stretch of defeats. Didn't win a tour level match in terms of outside of the United Cup until he hit Bucharest in April.
Second serve again.
Well, he is dealing with that second serve kicker very nicely, Munar. He is well up on the baseline, inside the baseline, taking on that backhand, looking very secure. It's impressive how aggressive he is playing off that wing on the hole.
And a double break it is already. And this first set, very much in the hands of this man. And I'm not massively surprised by the level he's producing out here. This is something we've seen from Munar for a lot of this season. We saw it against the world number 3 yesterday. He was 6-6, was a whisker away from troubling the world number 3 in terms of overturning that deficit.
Thank you.
It's still a lot of time left in this match, though. There's a lot of time left in this first set, and as Arvin said at the beginning of the last game, just stay with this first set for as long as possible. That will help him.
Looking for the change of direction there, but couldn't find it.
I mean, I do feel, Nick, that it's for love more of what Munar's done brilliantly as opposed to the fact Cobolli started poorly.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he's not playing his best tennis, but I do feel that is a lot down to what Munar has done. Naturally, you'd feel that at some stage there has to be a drop. His foot got stuck, I think.
Playing some offense of his own and playing it in some style.
Yeah, in a funny way, I think he may have just kind of relaxed here a bit as well, Cobolli. Your 4-love double breakdown, you kind of think the set is done and dusted. I mean, we talk about, you know, physically, mentally, how he was going to come in here, but you also got to remember he was probably very nervous at the beginning of the set as well, the match as well. But being down in the score, sometimes you just loosen up, tension leaves the body.
we sort of dissected the serve a little bit yesterday in terms of just how much upper body rotation he gets. He gets a lot of twist. It certainly adds to its potency. How much the back rotates through the serve.
That's the way to save the break points. Saving his way out of trouble.
Nothing not to like about that serve. Nick just carrying on from that conversation. The wrist as well, his angle of his wrist. Produces a lot of power there in the snap and gets into that throwing position really well.
That's an unbelievable return. How he got racket on ball there, only he will know.
Maybe he just saw it coming. It's not one of his best drop shots, but highly skilled backhand on the move from Cobolli. Massive difference in terms of the first serve percentage. He's double what Cobolli is. 36% Italian, 75% Munar.
Hasn't won too many of those sorts of rallies so far.
Yeah, but the more he's out here and the more sort of rhythm he gets, I think it's a good pattern of play. You know, talk about playing great defenders. It's very hard, we've seen with Medvedev, to beat them in straight lines, and you have to use the width. Cobolli has that in his game. He gets a lot of work on that forehand.
It's caught the line.
Well, he's gone wide again with the serve. He's won it again. And he's been there 3 times today. He's won all 3 points. In Shanghai, when he went there, he won every point.
People looking for a call that never came.
Dad and Alberto Rihanna just giving him some information there as he went to collect his towel.
Just made the move a little late, didn't he, Munar?
And that was very good dexterity there. And Cobolli far behind the baseline there to keep that as low as he did, showing that he's got a good skill set off the backhand as well. Very impressed with how Munar continues to press. He wants to be at the net.
He pointed Munar as if to say it should have gone cross-court.
Cobolli has a look of incredulity about how that's actually found the line again. That's for the day so far.
It's an outrageous angle.
Berrettini just made his way back to the bench. What a hold from Love 40. And this remains, this opening set, a shutout as far as the Italians are concerned. Cobolli, 5 love down here after 27 minutes. Couldn't have asked for him anymore. Even to win a game like that from Love 40, just to add a little bit of more weight and pressure on Cobolli's shoulders.
It's a really important game, and I think it's really important to just keep your man down, try and get through this set as quickly as possible. However, I know he didn't break there, but it was encouraging for Cobolli. I think the next game is important as well, just to get that game won.
Incredible start from the Spanish here. Munar, who hadn't won a singles match for his country until he turned up in Bologna this week. Not that you'd know it on the evidence of what we've seen so far. There's Berrettini, who played his part already. Wonderful win for him today. Of serves, isn't he? That one out wide, he likes to kick her out wide sometimes as well. He can throw that one in. That was evidence against Zizou Bergs.
Yeah, it's difficult to know of the ball toss whether it is the kick or the flat.
Yeah, and if he does win this game, get himself on the board, there's going to be an almighty roar from him. Maybe that would just give him a bit of a lift and a boost.
Made that as well.
made this, it was time to shake his hand.
I mean, if it wasn't for the net cord, he might have done as well.
Well, that's the MO. Just taking that second serve on, up inside the baseline, he continues to do it. Why would you not? You keep doing it if it's working. That's just going to add to Cobolli's frustration and touching the line.
Might have to repaint these lines soon, mightn't we? He's hitting so many.
It's looking that way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Crowd are getting frustrated with it.
Guy's playing too well. So he replies by finding one of his own. It's been a humbling half an hour for Flavio Cobolli, but he stops the bleeding.
Yeah, got the first game on the board, that will help him. Just going back to that second serve return, I think when you're playing someone like Cobolli who's got a really good kick serve, you've either got to get in and hit the ball as it's on the rise or get way back, and I think at times Berg's got caught in that no man's land. And it's been full commitment.
Serve has been imperious so far. He's hit all 4 spots, limited Cobolli from a return perspective.
Yeah, that's important. He hasn't been predictable. Not just the serve, we've seen the variation as well. All aspects of his game.
Got a low ball toss, hasn't he, as well? Can make it a little tougher to read. He is.
I think he shoves in every now and again, so that lower ball toss.
Yeah, such a smooth service motion. There's no chance of it really going wrong. There's not a pause in it. Timing is so good every time.
An impeccable set of tennis, near flawless from Jaume Munar. Cobolli is heading to the sidelines. He might be heading off court for a breather, we'll see. 6-1.
Well, if ever there was a shot that kind of summed up the opening set, this was it. Brilliant. So good from Munar. You know what, these numbers will definitely tell us how well he served. 77% first serves in. Cobolli, well, he did improve on that first serve percentage as the set wore on. Forehand winners, 9 to Cobolli's 5. And only 4 unforced errors. So overall, I would have to say that's one of the most complete sets we've seen this week. Munar, 1 set away from taking us to a doubles to decide 2025 Davis Cup champions.
Time.
Golfing class in set number 1. In fact, he won double the amount of points. How rarely do you see that
Thank you.
in men's tennis? Can he keep it up? Yeah, Cobolli needs the crowd here to get engaged. Too many situations like this to deal with over the last couple of years.
And for my money right now, he's just looking a little laboured with his movement, Cobolli. Just kind of the body language in between points, just looking a bit tired in the legs. Mentally tired perhaps, and it's translating into physical tiredness as well.
Munar is just excelling in every area.
Yeah, this is top 10 tennis. Now, the question is, and you've got a player like Munar, who is ranked, as he is, at 36. Can he keep this top 10 tennis going for another set? Well, from what we see in the opening game, he's not going to back off. So I think for Cobolli, he's got a decision to make. He either just sort of says, right, I'm just going to stick out here, or he tries to be a little bit more proactive. I think the latter's tough.
Again, a long rally, and he's the one that cracks first.
Well, it just seems to be bettering him in every single department right now. Munar just so quick behind that baseline, defending so well, and as we've seen for Cobolli, he goes for bigger and bigger shots. The targets become smaller and smaller, and you add in the fatigue as well. It's not a good combination at the minute for him.
Boy, does he need some of those.
A scrap absolutely has to happen this game for Cobolli to hold.
But it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and what he's done very well from the very start, attacking Munar's second serve. There is Munar, the yellow ball, so he's close to 1 meter inside the baseline to attack the second serve. Cobolli, wow, preferring to stand back, which is kind of his DNA. But they often say you're only as good as your second serve. You're only as good as the points won on your second serve. And Munar has put him under pressure right from the word go. So you, on a court that really does lend itself, if you attack well, you get rewards. mentioned, the success or lack of it defines matches. Astonishing. Munar, 88% of points won on his second serve. Cobolli, just 17%. So he's winning the baseline battles along the rallies. He's also hurting with the early returns.
And the scary thing is, I can barely remember an unforced error.
Yeah.
That was so unusual to see him miss.
It's amazing though now, you know, we talk about all the pressure was on Cobolli. Now the pressure's on Munar. It's just the sport. So for Cobolli, he's a fierce competitor. Munar has to remain aggressive.
Slight change of height. It was a little bit of a miss hit, I think, from Cobolli. I always think back to what a great interview Darren Cahill did a few months ago with Andy Roddick, and Cahill talked about having a good chat with Novak Djokovic about Jannik Sinner a couple of years ago, and Djokovic said, I really enjoy Sinner, but the ball's the same every time. The ball's the same. You've got to employ some variety. Jannik, it's a great ball, and at times in this matchup, you sort of think Munar needs to see a different ball here at some point. Is that a fair assumption?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually talked about it yesterday with Carreño Busta and Struff. And there's such a fine line, because if your length is just a little bit short, you can almost hit the perfect ball.
Well, it's about as animated as I've seen David Ferrer on the bench. He knows how big this game is, just to extend the daylight in this second set. Consolidate that breaker serve with a hold here.
Too good.
Well, that is just clutch, and such a big point as well. 30 all. Again, it's a rally that he was in control of, just dictating off the forehand wing, spreading the court so well. The backhand up the line has been so good today. Penetrates the court.
Some didn't quite get the dip on the serve.
You have to cling on to anything at this stage, and can he just be boosted by a couple of tentative points from Munar? The double fault. There was a forehand earlier in the game.
couldn't hold on. Cobolli's defence was strong. And here's a break point for the Italian.
The crowd lifting him. That first pass from Cobolli, the backhand, was brilliant.
Massive moment in this match. Can Cobolli grasp his opportunity? Someone in the crowd, I think, that may just have fallen unwell, possibly. Oh, have you got a better view of that?
Yeah, I've got a good view of that. I'm just sitting opposite that stand, actually. Someone is has become unwell up there, so the crowd was very, very quick to make a little extra noise up there, and Flavio spotted it straight away. So hopefully that person gets some help ASAP.
Yeah, we just slightly blocked our view from where we are in terms of just seeing what's happening up there.
It's probably in the top 2 rows of the stand.
Okay.
And it's not too frantic up there. They are kind of looking over the person quite calmly, and I can just see some officials, first aiders, just getting to that person, so help has arrived.
It's good news. $10,000 capacity here this week. Whether we stay here next year remains to be seen. They're actually building a new arena across the road, which could be open, we're told, late summer next year, and that may be a possibility. But I would think with site visits and everything else, the safe bet would probably be to stay here, wouldn't it? I mean, I don't, it's not my bag, but I would think that there wouldn't be a surprise if we were back here.
I thought you were taking that on you.
Yeah.
Is that your job description for next year, Nick?
Oh, man. Definitely not. But, worked pretty well here, I think, for the first year.
Yeah, it's a nice venue, and obviously they've done a really good job with the practice facilities in the next hall. 3 courts there. They also have the fan zone, don't they?
Yeah, it's nice when you come into the main entrance. There's a practice court. They're playing some wheelchairs tennis day yesterday, actually. But a wheelchair event on. Great to see that. Competitive side of the wheelchair game as well.
Yeah, we obviously wish that spectator well. But in terms of, I have to say, for Cobolli, it's probably nice for him to just sort of take stock, and probably not what Munar would have wanted, because he obviously had the massive adrenaline rush. Ferrer sort of standing up there looking over at that stand.
How's it looking there, Arv? You can see better than we can.
Yeah, there's a lot of first aiders that have arrived, a few firemen as well. It's in a really awkward position as well, because it's so high. There's no entry to that level from that side that high, so they've had to come from ground level to get up there with all their equipment as well. So it's taken a little bit of time, but there are plenty of people surrounding that person and trying to help out, obviously. But it just took a little bit of time to get everyone in position up there, because they had to come from court level. And I guess there might be a delay if that person needs to be removed. Then there's going to be a bit of a lengthy delay to get that person down and into safety. I can see a stretcher being sort of moved around a bit. Not saying that person's going to be put on that stretcher, but it is kind of up there. So there's that possibility of that person having to come down the stairs on that stretcher.
If it goes to the doubles, is Vavasori and Billie locking? They haven't played this week.
Well, it's a possibility. I think that was always the question mark for me, is that if it did come down to the doubles today, you're playing against a Spanish team that have played both days and won the tie both times, obviously winning that doubles, and you're coming in cold, and you haven't played, you haven't felt that pressure. You haven't felt match court kind of conditions. Very different when you're on the outside courts practicing, or kind of getting your practice sessions in on this centre court, and also the huge amount of pressure to come out, and everyone knows you haven't played a match, and the Spanish pair know you haven't played a match. That puts a lot of pressure on the Italians as well. They're obviously the more well-established pair because they play throughout the course of the year. But yeah, that's going to be tough. But yeah, there's options. They could bring Berrettini in, of course. They could bring Sonego in. They could pair one of those two up with one of the regular doubles players. Who knows? There's options for Landry.
I think if it was Berrettini, it'd be Berrettini and Sonego.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously the dilemma you've got is, I saw them last week at the ATP finals and they started red hot, but they ended up pretty cold. So I reckon the discussion would have been had.
Got to have done, hasn't it? You've got to cover all options.
Yeah.
And I can tell you this person is going to be removed because that top row have just shifted out the way to make room for this person to come down the stairs. So it's still going to be a good few more minutes here before play resumes.
Okay, thank you very much. Cobolli's out. He's trying to keep warm. I mean, you can always overthink these things, but he had just built himself a break point there, hadn't he? He felt as though things were beginning to shift maybe for him, but
I still think this is a good time for him. I really do. Just to kind of stop the flow. I think it's certain that we know that David Ferrer, if it goes to the doubles, what he's going to do. I don't think that's up for debate. That will be Pedro and Marcel. What a story they've been. Actually, we were able to catch up with Michael Coleman yesterday after the match. So this is in the gym. Yeah, that certainly gives us the impression that it's Vavasori.
yeah, won the mixed doubles at the US Open this year, didn't he, as well? Big prize, $1 million. And Sara Irani took home.
I hope he's not going to do it now. I thought he was going to do some bench press there.
That's his dad there, isn't it? I think just the blues hat there. Great story, of course. Actually played some pretty good singles over the last few years as well as Vavasori. Just been so successful in the doubles game.
Yeah, and I can tell you that, sorry, Barry's just butting in there because we've just got Vavasori's dad there. He was a bodybuilder back in the day. So he knows his way around a gym.
Just like you are.
Well, not quite.
Well, as long as he doesn't start bench pressing 200k before he goes out to try and hit serves.
Oh dear. Good news is the individual that was unwell is now being escorted out and the medics are firmly on hand, so we wish him or her all the best in recovery. Meanwhile, it's an important moment in this second set early on because Munar is facing a break point. Just a little passive Cobolli, maybe.
There's that backhand line again. He has not hesitated to use it, Munar, when it's been on. Don't think he's missed one.
Oh, that was a really tentative second serve. I guess it's just put it in the box. 143. quite his slowest, but not far off.
No! Good effort from Cobolli to keep the point alive.
Well, we said all week, it's not easy to smash here. Putz missed one yesterday in the doubles. Didn't put the first one away, which sometimes can bring a bit more tension to the second. He actually made a better contact on the second. Imagine if they break here, the noise. Almost actually found it more difficult with a lack of pace there on the second serve half.
It did look that way. He stood back. He was waiting for that ball to come to him, but he looked tight as well. What a moment. Break point, he had a second serve.
Great dipper. Made it as uncomfortable as he could have done.
Well, we're into stage 2 of this match. Since the delay, both players have not really convinced. This has been edgy. This adds to the drama. A 9-minute delay, it's not easy.
Would you believe it? Lady luck firmly on Cobolli's side. And how important a moment may that prove to be.
Well, sometimes you make your own look. This sense of disbelief from Munar. Showing the character. Can he build on that, Cobolli? He did drop his guard a bit there, though, Munar. Understandable, really, with the delay.
If there was one shot that went off yesterday for Munar, it was the forehand. And it went off at the crucial stages.
All of a sudden here, it is deafening. The crowd sense it. This is a time where they've got to get really loud for Cobolli. Testing times for Munar. He's got to regroup.
A couple of Bologna players in the house, Jens Odegaard and Emil Holm. Actually went top of the league yesterday, top of the Serie A at Bologna with a 3-0 win.
Yeah, just to let you know, actually, you mentioned about the forehand. The forehand speed was 123 up to the end of the first game. Since then, First game of the second set. Since then, he's dropped to 1-1-8. Munar.
I like how you changed the football subject there quickly, Baz.
Oh man, I'm still hurting.
Barry's team, Liverpool, going in the wrong direction right now.
So is Munar's forehand. That looks very late. It wasn't anywhere near the middle of the racket. He's shadow swinging a couple as well. He's lost the feel on it.
But you know, like Filippo Volandri, when his man lost 6 games. My team's lost 6 games, but you stick with them.
I like it. Good loyalty. Chance for Cobolli to get ahead here. Good period of play for Flavio Cobolli, who's been shut out largely in this match so far. But maybe he's building some momentum. 2-1 he leads. Not been easy to win 3 Davis Cup titles in a row. In fact, the last team to win 3 or more consecutive Davis Cup ties was the United States. They won 5 in a row, 68-72. But of course, the challenge round, as we said the other day, was in play for some of that. Challenge round being, of course, when the defending champions simply made their ways to the final. Different match this right now.
Yeah, and just look at the reaction there. He's skipping back to the baseline. He's working his team. He's working the crowd. Munar's got to step up here.
Yeah, learnt his lesson on that short forehand as well. He didn't go up the middle of the court either. Going to one of the corners there. Yeah, there's a massive momentum shift you feel right now.
Amazing when you look at Munar's year. Barry touched on it. He's beaten 7 top 20 players this year, Munar. He didn't beat a single top 20 player the whole of last season. Remarkable.
Great serve. Again, that wide serve. Gets a lot of pace off it.
Yeah, it's not only that, Barry, you're right, got pace to it, but it's to turn, and we've seen this week how players have really struggled to return that, because you think you're there, but it's still moving away from you. So you can't quite get the contact on the wood, can't be aggressive on it.
just pulled out of that shot a bit quickly.
I do feel sometimes that Cobolli, you know, his 80% forehand would be good enough to just keep him in the rally. It feels like he's redlining it the whole time.
Really good comeback game from Munar.
Narrative around Munar, it wasn't just the narrative, was it, for a while, was that he was such an emotional guy. He used to let things get the better of him, didn't he? So often he would implode emotionally. I don't think that's being unfair. We saw him get frustrated, and that's changed, isn't it? And of course, winning helps that, but he is definitely a calmer individual. I've mentioned it the other day, how he's working with a sports psychologist in the last year or so to try and find ways to such a good close. How quick was he to get up the court?
Yeah, and you think of all the great tennis he played in the first set, Munar. Those are the types of points that he was the one ending up at the net. Right now, it's Cobolli. He's got the bit between his teeth. That's brilliant footwork to attack that ball like that.
Yeah, the first time you feel right now, Cobolli, he's in the match now. He's in the heat of the battle.
He's a Davis Cup captain someday, isn't he?
Italy have got about 10 prospective Davis Cup captains. That's the only problem he's got. Filippo Volandri coming in a couple of years ago, coming in at a very good time as well. You'll remember Corrado Barazzuti, of course, was the Italian Davis Cup captain for many years. Held dual roles, didn't he? He was Fed Cup captain back in the day as well, was Corrado.
You're only as good as your players.
Too true. Mark Lopez doing all he can on the sidelines to push Munar forwards here. Another big point. And another injection of pace. Some shot.
You know, we talk about the match changing. He's now being the one who's dictating the play. Munar, 26% of his shots in the first set inside the baseline, just 11% in the second set. But what that means as well is it's got a little bit more time, Cobolli. He can start to play the points on his terms. Oh. Felt good. He was on the move.
Deadly combination. What a kick serve. Cobolli continues to lead. He has a slender advantage in the second. Arguably the most famous trophy in all of team sport, certainly one of them. 125th year of this most decorated of events. Who will get their hands on it today? Still in the balance. Italy, of course, with the 1-0 advantage. Inch perfect. Not easy from there either.
Yeah, and Cobolli not entirely happy because I think someone behind that line just calling out in the crowd. I had very little chance to get that ball back anyway, but someone did cry out quite loud.
Left presence. Left service.
I think you always have to look at sort of small details, small moments. That was his slowest second serve of the match from Munar. You've got to pick up on that, haven't you, if you're Cobolli?
Sure he has. Quite exceptional from Munar. What a point he's played.
He's really having to dig in here. These are tough moments for Munar. That stretch, and when he hits the pass, he's already on the move as well. So that was great move, great footwork off the ball. He excels at the lob.
And getting that one over the backhand wing as well, up the line. So there's just really not that much time for Cobolli to chase that one down.
Second serve, the average speed was 170 in the first. It's 152 in the second. That's an incredible drop.
That was not a good drop. It's a little panicked.
Yeah, it didn't feel like that was the right shot. It felt that he worked the point nicely, that actually there was a chance to take that forehand line.
Speak maybe to how well Munar's defended, doesn't it? He does feel as though it's a tough guy to hit through. that time he does, though. Just a little shorter. And Cobolli finding his way up the court.
He had a few problems in latter stages the other day against Bergs with the two-hander. He did so well in his first match. Reminding us what he is capable of with that two-hander down the line.
Oh, he's missed it. Munar is not endearing himself to the crowd here.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure he needed that reaction. Munar obviously felt as if Cobolli got a little unlucky. Got lucky a couple of times digging these up, but I mean, they were great gets from Cobolli. You've got to give him that.
Yeah, look at this reaction. Well, we're going to see it again.
And the last thing he wants is the crowd to be on his back.
Yeah, that is what annoyed the crowd.
Oh, don't get... No, you don't want to do that.
And Ferrer's up as well.
He's furious. He's furious. He's just kicked the chair.
Who? Ferrer?
Yes, and I don't know if that was out of annoyance because Munar again provoking the crowd, or he's just letting out a little bit of tension.
I think it's the former. You?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
Don't give Italian crowd any excuse to get more involved.
Yeah, it's poking the bear, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's not where you want to go right now. Not to say he can't win, but it's not a battle he's going to win. That one.
Will it affect him though? I guess that's the question. Does it bother him? I mean, he's a player that has tunnel vision at the minute.
So here's my question to both of you, because you've been in this situation. How difficult is it in these scenarios when you're playing away from home to keep your cool?
Well, I view it actually, I think it gives extra energy to the Italians. It's positive energy. So the crowd now is like, okay, we're here.
Yeah, on the flip side, some players just like a great atmosphere. They like a hostile atmosphere. Bring it on.
Yeah, and then you make an error like that, you know what's going to happen.
Heck of a dig from Cobolli. There's his mum.
Oh, this is great drama.
I mean, the hoardings are quite low here as well, so he actually did really well there not to collide the ball with them.
It was so close to touching the steel up there. That lob was so good.
It's all happening, and right now the Italians have something to work with. 4-3, Cobolli in the second.
Well, Ferrer, I know we're on Cobolli here, but Ferrer having a real chat with Munar. It would be fascinating to hear what he would be saying to him maybe just to calm it down a touch, keep your focus, don't get the crowd involved, because he has stoked the fans here. He really has.
Passionate home crowd, you'd expect nothing less here. And the noise levels lifted again. Well, this was the little exchange between the two guys who have a lot of respect between one another. It's getting heated.
Thank you very much. Players are ready to go.
Well, you've got the interesting dynamics. Both captains, they're kind of looking at each other, but they're looking at their own players. Foot got stuck as he moved forward. He just slipped.
Slightly vulnerable approach, wasn't it, as well here?
You run around your back and you take that forehand down the line. It's got to go close to the line. He's not going to miss that. That's easy for someone of his level.
What do you think Ferrer said there to Munar?
I think he's had a word with him at the change of ends just to say, you know what, just be careful here, because you've got the crowd on your back and you might just lose your focus a bit. Regain the focus, just focus on the tennis, next point. That's my feeling.
Yeah, well, 100% as a player, there's no way Ferrer would have reacted like that. Not in a million years. Brilliant backhand.
Completely silenced the crowd with that one. It's another exquisite backhand up the line. Just completely caught Cobolli out. He was expecting it cross court. That was the percentage play.
It's a little cheap. Cobolli's point of view. Munar charging around the court at the far end.
Love that point. It was actually the first forehand that was super good. He a little bit more shape, a little bit more height to work the point. It was that particular shot, and then the backhand followed by the inside-out forehand, because he's got him off the court. Munar, it's very tough to hit one shot for a winner. And it always is against someone who moves as well as Munar.
Full credit to the Spaniard, who is producing lobs of the highest quality right now.
I mean, how good are his lobs? I mean, you'd almost go from what we've seen this week, is there anyone better?
I mean, it's a cut above because they're always up the line as well. I mean, that's the shortest distance for that ball to travel. That is so tough to execute, to get the right amount of spin on it and get the weighted shot right.
Four apiece.
Disappointing error for Munar. Looked like he worked over his stretching out his groin there.
Wrong-footed, wasn't he? This guy could wrong-foot a few people on his day on the clay in particular.
Thank you.
Of course, the last time Spain and Italy played, Ferrer and Valandri were part of the teams. Quite brilliant movement from Munar again.
That was a really good approach. I think in this situation, you've come line, you've almost got to cover the line. And he wasn't really covering either, Cobolli. This is dangerous moments now for the Italian number one.
What a two-hander that was, given the scoreline as well. Man, does he trust that shot.
And he knows, if you're hitting a shot like that at 4-all, 15-30, it's too good.
Yeah, he was up out of his chair very quickly for Ed, just to calm Munar down there and just say, you know what, it was too good, Jaume. Don't worry, you can keep doing that, it's too good.
Left service.
First serve disappeared in this game.
Didn't do enough with the second serve return. When you think of all the damage he did in set one, the numbers back that up in the opening set. Cobolli really struggled to win points on his second serve. That's been a bit of a difference in the second. I think a lot of that is due to a little bit more tension in Munar's game.
It's a big hold. Pressure was on at 15-30, but he has delivered. He's been a man for the moment so far this week. Will that continue? 5-4. Trying to keep his composure, the Spaniard. Not easier to cauldron out there. And he would not have been in this situation very often either, perhaps never so far in his career.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
An away day, effectively. Raucous crowd. Serving to stay in the second set.
Light, second service.
A big opportunity for Cobolli. Munar actually served so well in the first set. He was 78% first serve, set one. He's actually below 50% now.
Munar's got a problem with his hand here.
It's as if he just needs to clean his hand. Actually, he's got a bottle of water out here. Maybe something's got on his hand. He needs to wash whatever is on it, off it. That backhand actually looked a little strange, actually. The backhand line was good, but then the follow-up, it was a miss. I just wonder if the racket spun in his hand.
that's where the movement comes into play, doesn't it?
Well, you don't have to hit it at 210k. If you hit it down the middle and you've got that sliced, and this court does take slice. When you're missing a few too many first serves, it's quite a good idea to sort of go for that three-quarter pace.
Light service.
Not as easy as it looked, was it? Given the height he had to hit it from.
Yeah, well, by going cross-court as he did, really the play would be to try and cut it off the court, go shorter. He tried to beat him with pace. Well, bearing in mind, it's not easy to beat Munar with pace when you're hitting 100-mile-an-hour forehands.
Good dig from Munar again, though. We talked about his steal score numbers this year on the ATP Tour being bettered by only one player, and again the evidence why in that last point. It's a bit of a timid end to that game from Cobolli. And I was going to look for a change of racket, forever sprinting out to give him the towel.
I think the first point set the tone for that game. Potentially a different complexion if Cobolli had made the backhand down the line.
Good kick serve. Use that as a first quite a bit against Zizou Bergs.
As convincing a service game have we seen from Cobolli. Good stuff. This would be, if he can hold here, first love service game. It's an interesting one there, and we see it a lot on tour. A 40 love, he kind of went for the kicker. I just feel you've got to ride the momentum.
Yeah, Munar keeps taking a long look at these guys. There's about 4 or 5 of them in that corner who seem to be obviously the gentleman with the Spanish flag, but Munar's making a lot of eye contact with that particular corner of the stadium. Cobolli, though, just keeps on going about his business in the second set. The Italian #1 holding on to his lead. We're heading for a breaker, it would seem. urged on by his teammates Berrettini and Sonigo. Such a big support group they carry year round as well. Umberto Riana there as well. We see him a lot through the course of the season. 10,000 Italians in Bologna, desperate to try and help Cobolli get a break here.
Thank you.
Hasn't missed many of those. Had a lot of time to line it up.
First point makes such a difference, and
well, almost having too much time on a ball is a bad thing at this stage. You want to be more reactive, just play on instinct.
I feel like the chip return would have been a good option there, wouldn't it? Ball's moving away from him. Yes, he has that extreme grip, as you said, but the chip return at love 15 there. Make a play.
standing back here, I think it's good play. Don't get beaten with a bigger second serve. Just looked a little slow to that backhand.
More guidance as well from the corner. Not sure he's entirely happy with it. Wasn't far away. Cobolli's father taking his cap off. He's had that on all week.
Again, lack of first serves.
Outstanding from Cobolli, because there was a lot to do.
We saw a lot of those reactions in that epic tiebreak the other day. But what a beautifully constructed point. 3 forehands, he went big with the first, held back on the second. The third found himself forward.
Set point to square us up. Brilliant serve.
Sorry, I didn't see the point because someone was standing right in front of my commentary box, hands on their head.
This was
Too nervous.
It was a cool finish, that, wasn't it?
Very impressive 1-2 combination, that, under so much pressure.
He's going big into the forehand, and Munar just can't trust himself to really swing through it, so it drops short. This is the play right now for Cobolli. I think that's the serve all day long, because as you said, Nick, he has that extreme grip. I felt it actually the other day with Bergs. At Bergs, when he went in big to the forehand, sometimes he did struggle to get himself out of that difficult situation. So great serving from Munar. He was serving volleying. Could he possibly do that again? This point.
Worked so hard, Cobolli, to keep himself in the rally.
Yeah, that will hurt Munar. Obviously, losing the point is not good, but he actually tried to be a bit more aggressive on that forehand and missed it. And that sometimes that can sort of ebb away your confidence.
Third chance to bring us level.
Brilliant, brilliant, because if he'd hesitated a touch, this would have been a horrendous volley to hit.
So good, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the change-up as well, that time not going up the tee, which you feel is his favoured serve, changing it up.
He's done so well. He saved all 3 set points, hasn't he? With quality. Not going to miss that. Too much time and space.
And we've said that a few times in this second set, too much time, because this forehand from Munar, oh, that arm's heavy. It's there to be hit, and he's hit that off forehand really well.
He's made all 3 first serves so far on the set points.
I mean, it would have been an unbelievable backhand, but he can make that. He would probably make it 50%, I think.
Full credit to Munar, though. Yeah. Again, this is some gutsy tennis.
But actually, when you look at this game as a whole, that he's been a little tentative from the back of the court. That actually just being proactive and getting forward, trusting his volley skills.
Light to service.
Oh, it's clutch serving. So impressive from Munar, this. Quite brilliant. And the courage of Munar in this situation, in this absolute cauldron of an environment, has to be admired.
Yeah, stood up to be counted there. First serve delivered for him. But now both have got to reset after such a difficult game.
Thank you.
Good start.
Well, after the other day, anything's possible in the tiebreak.
That's true.
Cobolli with that epic one. Munar, both went against him yesterday.
He came into this week with a 21-11 win-loss record in breakers as well, so clearly has enjoyed these pressure situations. Well, one of the best exchanges of the match so far.
Can't tell you how good that rally was. And Cobolli was a millimetre away from making that backhand. I mean, just both guys crushing the ball from the back of the court. This is so impressive right now, under the extreme pressure that is the final.
25-shot rally right at the beginning of the tiebreak. Sometimes that can just knock the stuffing out of you for a few points. These are big moments when you can get a first serve in. Important.
Getting better and better. These two are producing the goods right now.
2 points back to back, out of this world. Under pressure, the patience, but then the finishing shot And he loves his off forehand, and his off forehand has allowed him to get the mini break.
Set 1 hour and 21 minutes now in duration. We did, of course, have the 9-minute delay due to the stricken fan. Is there a player in the world who hits the forehand, off forehand, as well as Cobolli does right now? Because he is just nailing that ball.
Well, he's just taken to another level right now. He is mainlining his game. There's just no hesitation going for those forehands. He's just got such belief and confidence in it. I think there were a couple of shouts from the side there as well from the Italians. Just watch that, let it go, let it drop.
4 points of the highest order.
Didn't have a lot left on that lob. You can understand why, given the last few points, and his father was telling him, just breathe, good advice. Because right now, the rest of his game is taking care of itself because he's in the zone.
Thank you.
Physically and mentally, he's got to be on the ropes, hasn't he, Munar? Given the last service game as well. Yeah, great serve, and this will help. Take as long as you want.
That's where captains play a big part, isn't it?
Yeah. Just get the heart rate down a bit.
An incredible record for his country. David Ferrer, one of the most respected professionals of his generation. Unconditional competitor. Tournament director, teammate of Ferrer's for many years. Seized on the shorter ball and took all the time away from the Spaniard.
And his forehand has been out of this world in this set. At the backhand was the shot there that he was able to just drive through it.
More shape to that ball, wasn't there, from Munar?
Yeah, I think it was slightly fortunate as well. It was a bit of a miss hit, but it completely broke Cobolli's rhythm up there. A shot that worked out perfectly for him.
You cannot take any position for granted in tie breaks here this week.
No. how good has he been overhead? So reliable.
And so brave.
6-3, Italy.
Best passenger player of the match for Cobolli. The forehand, because he's hit it so well, has allowed him to be able to deliver with the smashes.
What a tiebreak he's played. And he's got himself 3 more set points. Munar's not giving him a whole lot here, is he, either? It's not like he's built this lead through the Spaniards' deficiencies.
Yeah, because it does feel like he's over that sort of rocky patch in the middle of the set as well. Back to playing tennis that we saw in the first.
Thank you.
Of course, needed 7 match points to win against Zizou Bergs. This is now set point number 7 in this second set.
I think he's made 6 first serves, hasn't he? Munar.
Thank you. Please.
First time. In control.
Flavio Cobolli delivers once again for his country. He's been a king of the tiebreaks this week. He's done it again. It's 1-all.
Wasn't hoping for errors from Munar. He made it happen.
Got to go again though, isn't he? Still a lot of work to be done here. 2 hours and 10 minutes into this one. Italy 1 set away from winning the Davis Cup for a 3rd successive year.
Ladies and gentlemen, take a seat, please. Ready for play.
Back to putting up some strong resistance. Don't expect him to go away anytime soon, do we?
Yeah, it just felt actually after it was a little bit more gas from the back of the court there from Munar, a little bit more pace.
Yeah, I think he's trying to match what Cobolli was throwing at him at the breaker. He's got to try and take control of the rallies at the beginning of this 3rd set, because Cobolli in the breaker, he was just dominating. He was dictating the play, and that wasn't the case. Munar, certainly in the 1st set and a lot the 2nd. He's got to re-establish himself.
has been one side that's broken down. It has been the forehand, isn't it, of Munar?
Well, it was yesterday against Zverev in that tiebreak, second set.
Let for service.
Big moments early on in set 3 for Munar here. It was a wayward strike.
Yeah, he's not going to win this match if he goes into a forehand where he says, I can't miss. You have to be aggressive on this court, but he's starting to miss more and more. The rallies are getting longer and longer.
30 pari. 30 all.
Good stuff. Not easy to go again. Start of the third after such a big second set. An hour and a half the second set was.
40-30.
Terrific serve out wide that he possesses.
More of the same he delivers on that front. Excellent game.
First game, final set.
The Spaniard. Spent a lot of time in Mallorca, of course, training at Nadal's academy in Manacor. From the early days of his professional career, he was based there. Doesn't spend as much time there nowadays. Some facility that is. Casper Ruud, of course, we know has been based there for a long time as well. Of course, Alexander Zverev went there, didn't he? In the summer. He's the president of the Spanish Tennis Federation. See him a lot around the tour, particularly at the majors. Ferrer and Munar just getting into it a little bit there. Munar not happy with direction. And again, Ferrer really keen to get his points across to his player.
Yeah, danger signs are when he's on the front foot, Cobolli, and he's just pummeling forehands Couldn't get enough of the
Quindici pari.
outside edge of the ball.
Maybe the first chip return we've seen all match. Either player, I don't remember many. Berrettini, who scored another win today in the singles. Into double figures now of successive wins for his country. Mr. Reliable, isn't he?
30-15. Curzi 15.
Well, he's got to continue going after that forehand like that. Any opportunity to get on top of it, flatten it out, he's got to take it.
Just didn't feel, Arv, in the first set that he actually was allowed to be able to use that shot, but it's becoming more and more of a feature now.
Yeah, just feeling like he's got to dictating play a little bit more time on the ball as well. And he's got a real spring in his step right now.
He's got a game on the board as well.
I just think it's so important. Hats off to both men that they've been able to come out and hold the opening service game, because it's tough after the highs of the last set.
Elisabetta Coccarietto, who is the Italian player, watching on. Coccarietto, of course, Basil, you just reminded me, I think, sealed the deal, didn't she, in Shenzhen?
Yeah, along with Paolini. They won both their singles. Italy to win that competition again.
Just on another note quickly, I think it's safe to say that if this does go to the doubles, it's going to be the doubles guys, Vavasori and Billie, because at the side of the court, Berrettini and Sonego, they're up and down like a jack in the box. They've done about 1,000 squats up and down. They're going to be exhausted if they're called upon to play doubles.
Yeah, but the only problem is Vavasori, with his dad being a bodybuilder, he's done bench press 200 Ks.
I was a little bit surprised. He was at dumbbell presses and all sorts going on in there. He obviously knows what he's doing there.
And obviously with the Billie being from Bologna.
Yeah. They have been overlooked before, haven't they?
Yeah,
as you
last
said,
2 years.
In Malaga, with Yannick Sinner in the house. He trumps most, to be fair, singles or doubles. Quite as quick getting across to that one, was he?
Yeah, 100% right. He looked laboured getting out there. I just wonder if the legs are taking quite the pounding now. In the corners, going to be more difficult for him. Just the first step as well, slower.
Points will help, though. And that was a good, straightforward game for Munar. He continues to hold his lead early on in this third set. Ferrer having a long discussion there with Mirjana Veljovic. Maybe Arv could see what was going on there.
Yeah, he was having quite an intense conversation, but he wasn't having his way. Umpire was saying, no bueno, whatever he was asking. I'm not quite sure, though, what he was asking for.
Ferrer's just telling him.
Well, he was waving his finger, was he, Ferrer?
Well, yes, he was. He really is got the reins of Munar right now, isn't he?
Interesting that you mentioned Arv in the last game, a little slow moving out to that forehand, of whether it's a little physical, also the fact that he's missed some forehands as well, and that can start to get to you.
Yep.
He didn't seem as sharp on that return either.
I think it's only natural that you're going to get slightly tired. I mean, the intensity, certainly of that second set, you're going to have a bit of a lull, but it's getting that second wind kicking in.
You like the play there?
Yeah, I love the play because it's what he did in the first.
Just got up on him a touch high. In the first set when he was hitting that, he was getting that slightly lower in a more comfortable position. Again, indication of sharpness, not quite there.
And as great as the lob is, and it is terrific, you don't want to overplay with it, because then actually, when Cobolli's coming forward, he can just hold back a touch, almost waiting for it.
Testing the forehand again, and Cobolli's going to just go over to the chair. He's going to change rackets here, I think he might be.
Oh, we've got one more game, is that right? The new balls? Before the new balls?
Yeah, I was just getting confirmation. I think he's a player that likes to change racket before the ball change. The ball change coming in, and the change of ends.
As his dad.
Cap's back on.
Yeah.
Given the way he played in the second set, I'd throw the cap in the bin. Whichever nation's won on the Saturday has gone on to win on the Sunday. You know, I had that tough match yesterday. Well, he apologised, which is absolutely the right thing to do. Of course he doesn't really mean it. No one does. If ever there was a time to get a little bit of luck, that was it. Otherwise it was going to be love 30.
Seen it all week. And he's pushed opponents out wide, as his mum and brother.
Yeah, it's obviously not for now, but I think for next year and beyond, I think that's a shot that he can improve. Obviously on the clay, it's going to be a little bit more time, but on the quicker courts, against the big servers,
you look at Cobolli's career as a whole, he's still only made one tour-level semi-final on hard courts. And that was 2 years ago. So, something to prove, I think, on this surface at tour level, for him to continue to push up the rankings. Still relatively new and fresh to the tour, so we'll see how it develops.
Let's proceed. Joko, Spain.
now lovely serving from Munar. Another ace to his tally, another game to his tally. He's halfway there, Munar, 3-2. Real drama in Bologna. And we have had some utterly captivating, mesmerizing matches. We might just have another one here.
Yeah, from a physical standpoint, it looks as if Cobolli's just in a slightly better space as far as that's concerned. He looks a little bit more energized. I think that's where the fans really do help him, give him that lift.
There you've got 9,600 brothers and sisters with you, haven't you? A small pocket of Spanish supporters. Clinical game this has been.
Haven't seen him employ that very often. There we go. Not sure what he was saying there. He was married just 3 weeks ago, was Munar. Impressive from Cobolli, from my perspective as well, is that pretty much for 3 hours against Zizou Bergs, his level didn't really drop a whole lot, did it? And today he was outplayed in the first, so probably can forgive that, but his level, his concentration, his ability to focus, he's been impressive.
Yeah, you don't be an elite player just from talent. and playing well occasionally, you've got to have the steel, and I've seen enough from Cobolli this year that he's got some real fight in him. And to have to battle through difficult moments in this first set, of course it's different to the regular tour, but I've also seen it enough times this year on the ATP Tour.
Super point. Cobolli scrambling. Every drop he's leaving out there.
Yeah, and when fatigue does set in, sometimes actually your focus is it's all about your physicality, that you can actually relax a little bit in terms of your tennis, and both played some really good points this set. Quality has not dropped at all.
Let for service. $40. 40 love.
2036, and there's just no let-up on pace behind that first serve from Munar. Very impressive at this stage, getting 3 points. Very nice.
Just didn't expect that to come back with the quality it did.
Interesting, actually, looking at the both players deciding sets this year. Munar, this was at the start of the week, at 110, lost 14. Cobolli had 111, lost 7, and then you add in the one the other day.
Really is another high-quality point. The level hasn't really dropped at all. Munar delighted to keep himself in front in a match that is still very finely balanced. This guy's provided so much entertainment this week. Win or lose here tonight, He can be very proud of what he's done here in his country's colours. How he would love, of course, I'm sure, to finish the job right here. Put his name in the history books. Backhand, like a dart, that ball goes through the court so low, so quick.
Court will get quicker as well, as it always does with a week's tennis on it. It's got that nice contrast actually with the backhand and the forehand, like a lot of modern day players, the ability to flatten it out more on the backhand.
Brilliant pass from a long way back as well.
The speciality there.
Well, that just takes an incredible amount of strength from back there to find that angle, stay balanced like that. Thought he was having a physical lull. No signs there.
I'm not sure there's actually anyone better at that shot. Well, certainly not today. I'm not sure. No one can hit it as well as Cobolli. Another 0.1 on first serve, another forehand winner. 12 of 14 points won on his first serve in the third.
And there's the change-up with the kicker that he owns on that wing.
And it's so difficult because you can't really take it down the line, that return. And then he's hanging in that backhand corner, so it's really tough to hit, to get it into his backhand, and then the damage he can cause on the forehand. Imagine how nasty he'd be on a hot day on the clay.
And there's the bounce that did for him again, wasn't it? He just couldn't time it. Barely lost points on serve, Cobolli, in this set.
Well, this just gives you a whole lot of energy right now if you're Cobolli. He is feeding off this crowd. They know it, they know they're helping him.
Ready to play, please.
I think that's David Ferrer's wife, Marta, and his son. Where's Wally there, I think? Always a good book. Keep the kids happy. To be, it was a bit lower on him than perhaps he may have just misjudged it.
Yeah, he's got the forehand he wanted, but you're going over the higher part of the net there. So it's a tougher shot, it's a riskier shot because you're trying to be so aggressive, so you're purposely trying to take it lower over the net. Back cross court there, inside out, that's what was needed.
lost on serve in this set, Baz.
Yeah, it's been serving of the highest quality. Cobolli's just lost 4, 2 on his first serve. Munar just lost 5, 2 on his first serve. They are matching each other game for game.
Thank you. Please.
And as a consequence, the scoreboard is moving along at a rapid rate here in this third set. We are very much at the sharp end of it here. Munar is within a game of levelling the tie. He's come through some very narrow escapes this week. There's Flavio Cobolli. He's staring down another one right here. Serving 4-5.
Left for service.
Yeah, when you say 7 match points as he did against Bergs, you get strength from that.
What a serve that was.
The serving has got better and better, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It can often happen in conditions like this. You just relax, and actually you find a little bit extra pace as well, because your arm is so loose. Actually 197 is average first serve speed, which is the same as the second set. Cobolli, he's just dropped a little bit, but still a lot of cheap points on that first serve. It's kind of almost feel, Nick, and it's written in the stars that it's going to be another tiebreak.
I was just thinking exactly the same thing. But it's got that feel of a breaker. I mean, as a neutral, it would be fantastic to see. It would be great drama.
We've got to be careful at 40 love.
Yeah, don't be wasteful. We've seen anything can happen. That was just a mental error there from Cobolli. Maybe signs of mental fatigue.
Yeah, because sometimes you can be guilty of thinking, the game's over, just let's move on, and then all of a sudden you lose a bit of focus, and before you know it's 40-30, and then you get tight because you know that you should have already closed the game out.
And especially against Munar, he's a terrier out there.
Thankfully, from his perspective, it won't cost him. Serving from the top tier, and we're at 5 apiece. Just to give you a bit of perspective on his career, and we talk about how fresh he is, really. He only won his first match at a major at the Australian Open last year, so he really hasn't been playing at the elite level for all that long. Only 2 years maximum, Cobolli.
Per favore. 15-0. 15-9.
Will turn a bit lower on the Spaniard.
15-0.
Certainly want to test that forehand out right now, you would feel. Really well to get the length he did there, didn't he? And Munar's feet just didn't quite work for him to make the room for the shot.
Opening service game of this third set, he found himself 15-30. Exactly the same situation now for Munar.
Is he blinking? At the most inopportune of moments here. Munar. 3 mistakes on the spin.
Thank you.
Oh my word!
Oh, no way. When that left Cobolli's racket, I think he was probably thought he could walk to the chair. The best volley we've seen all week, and what a moment. Extraordinary.
Grazie.
Staggering.
So hard when you're moving forward as well, and it's low.
Per favore.
The first break of the third goes the way of the Italian. And the Super Tennis Arena is shaking. How brave he has been on that forehand side again.
They got into that position because he dropped his guard, Munar. But after that brilliant volley at 40-15, he had to come up with the goods. Cobolli, he had the shot, his favourite shot. And just like the biggest moments in the second set, just like the biggest moments a few days ago against Zizou Bergs, he was on the attack. Forehand has won him some massive points. I mean, the work right now for Filippo Velandri, and it's the old cliche, but it's literally stay in the present. It is first point.
Is he going to be the hero once again? He's already been a hero this weekend. Cobolli serving.
Play, please. Thank
to secure a third straight Davis Cup for Italy. Feet didn't work, did they? Just didn't behave for him.
Again, telling his player, stay in the moment. He's close to tears, isn't he? Why wouldn't you be?
He was in tears at Wimbledon this summer, wasn't he? When his son made the quarterfinals. So convincing. He's played so well under such extreme pressure. And Italy have 3 chances to win the Davis Cup. Italy are the 2025 World Champions. They become the first nation in over 50 years to win 3 successive Davis Cup crowns. A week where they didn't lose a single match. Cobolli and Berrettini team up to see Italy as the champions once again.
Incredible scenes. Our commentary box is shaking. But what a play, what a moment that is. That's great to see.